let's talk business. All right, October 1st is the beginning of the last quarter of the year, okay? Do you know that so many more sales, not just because of Christmas and stuff or the holidays, but so many people try harder, because they're like, I had these big goals. So they push harder in that last quarter of the year. There's actually books written about it because people push so much harder during the last quarter of the year. And you know what? I feel myself wanting to do that because I'm like, I had such big dreams and hopes for this year. And then I'm like, oh my Lord, it's almost October. Okay. So I'm getting my ducks in a row. Okay. So here's what I have listed my quarterly goals, and then I'm going to give myself an action to reach that goal, and then I will look into it weekly to see how I'm doing. Because if you here's a goal I'm going to try to reach for this quarter, you're going to have weekly parameters and the actions. You can't just say, I want to be healthier, I want to work out more. It just doesn't need to be lofty. It needs to be something that's like set in stone. Okay. So whatever you have, this doesn't have to be just for business. It can be for your personal self. Okay. Right now, with me being a social media influencer, I'm like a little baby influencer. My health is part of my job, but then it's also part of who I am. Okay. We have all of these all-inclusive vacations we're hosting. It's difficult for me to be anywhere near 100% on task during those events. So I am actually going to start on my fourth quarter goals now, because I feel like it'll help me get a slingshot and I will feel ahead. Okay. So even though it's September and we've got a little bit of time left in September, I'm going to go ahead and start working on my quarterly goals for the last quarter. All right. So I have 3 goals, 3 outcome goals, 3 things that I want to make happen. Okay. So I want to weigh 295 pounds. Okay. I am roughly 315 pounds, and I know that if I could just clean my act up for a week, I know I could get back into those 309s, 308s, okay? I've just got to put the proof in the pudding, right? And don't put the pudding in my mouth. That's what I've got to do. I have been reading about fasting and fasting like a girl, and I'm really connecting with that book. So that's going to be my thing, is fasting and the ketones that I have, avoiding seed oils, and just eating the clean foods that I know how to eat, okay? But a lot of fasting. Not looking forward to it. But I'm strong. You're strong. Do you know how many people I meet that they have went through the ringer? So, I'm stronger than the discomfort of fasting, okay? So here's what I have planned to do. You got to actually put this into action and set a deadline, okay? I want to create a fasting schedule. You can't just do the same thing all the time. Your body will get used to it, according to that book. So I want to have some that are longer and some that are shorter. And I want to make sure that I know what the plan is for every day going into October 1st to December 31st, okay? And I'm going to look at, because we have a couple of trips that we're going on. I have a couple of competitions. We have a vacation. I have 2 out-of-state, or one's in-state competitions, and we have some holiday stuff, and I'm going to work those into my fasting schedule, okay? I want to walk a minimum of, don't get on to me. These are my goals. If you don't like it, that's your goals, okay? I want to walk at least 6,000 steps a day, because I will either walk 14 to 20,000 steps, or I will walk 4,000 steps, and sometimes less in a day. So my goal is to make sure and hit a minimum of 6,000, I bit my cheek, 6,000 steps a day. I want to take a minimum of 1 ketone a day. I love the ketones that I have, and a lot of y'all think I'm saying keystone. I'm not saying keystone. I'm saying ketone. It's ketone. It's a ketone. But the ones that I'm taking, there's several different on the market, and some of them are not made the way that your body needs them to be made. I hope that you go through my website and get them from me. You can find them on Amazon also, but you're not backed by the company because that's just an individual selling them, and they could be selling you an expired product. I think they just put the dates on the outside bag. I haven't seen it on the packet, so you've got to make sure and trust the integrity of the person you're getting them from. The last thing I want to do, my action steps to reach my plan, is to work out daily. It can be big, it can be small, it doesn't matter, but I need to do something. Because a lot of times I will get into this office and just kind of hammer down, and I put myself on the back burner, and so I've just got to not do that. Now I have 2 others. Oh, my key motivation. What is making me want to do that, okay? So it's hard for me to just be like, oh, I want to be hot, okay? Like, I don't have any self-esteem issues about that. Like, I feel pretty right now, okay? So, and then, you know what? It's hard to be like, oh, I want to avoid developing type 2 diabetes, right? Well, I know that that's going to probably end up happening if I don't get a hold of my weight, okay? So I don't feel connected to that because it hasn't slapped me in my face yet, okay? So things that actually motivate me is, and I'm reading, I want to be a role model for my Smart Chicks that's in January. January, I have an all-inclusive event called Smart Chicks where I'm trying to help people with all this homesteading stuff. And I don't want to be somebody that doesn't look like they have taken their health into their hands. And I don't mind being a person that's in progress, but I really don't feel like a 300-pound person should be teaching that unless they used to weigh like 500 and they're just in the process, right? So I feel like as long as I can show that I was at 333 last year, and I think that if I can go from 333 and be under 300 pounds, then I will be worthy of being an instructor in that class, okay? So there's that. And I also put that I want my internal image to match my external image. I feel like an extreme athlete stuck in this body. I just want to be more athletic in general. Excuse me. So that's my motivation. Like, I needed to look at that to kind of like draw me back into it. You think it would be, oh, you don't want to develop type 2 diabetes. You'd think it would be something like that. But I guess as soon as, like, if that ever does happen, then I will be motivated by that, okay? I feel very fortunate to not have to be dealing with something like that right now, and I can still just make progress on my own. All right, so I have now set up like a subscription for my Facebook page, and it's like nothing. It's like change. I think it's $1 something a month, and I'm gonna go way more in detail with my other goals in there. It's kind of new for me to have a subscription, but I'm going to take that group and go way more in detail. But I just want to tell you this right here, every day of the week I have a different topic, and today this is my business topic. And you know what? But if you don't have your health, then ultimately your health is your wealth, okay? If you're not healthy, what's the point of doing all of that succeeding? Because you're going to cut your life short, and you're not going to be able to enjoy the things that you work so hard for, okay? So there's my business tip of the day is Q4 is coming. You need to get to looking at it and get going early on it. All right, you can find me at brandyvonholton.com, and I will see you tomorrow.